Welcome back to another On Base baseball video. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of On Base. And in this video, we're going to have a game between the 1986 San Francisco Giants and the 86 Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know if these two teams ever played, but they got two of my favorite players when I was growing up, Barry Bonds and Will Clark. This is their rookie years. I think Clark was 5th. I looked up the Rookie of the Year voting. Clark was 5th, and Rookie of the Year voting, Bonds was 6th. And Robby Thompson for the Giants was 2nd in voting. So, created the new cards for the 1986 season. That'll be the next season coming out. You can see them here. And this is how they come. I can't quite get my computer to get rid of this, or my printer to get rid of this border. Maybe you are able to do that, but I get real close. Technically these are full bleed, so if you're able to get rid of that one like little 1/4 of an inch or something, more power to you. But I'm just gonna cut these. You can see how easy it is to cut the cards, and then you can see they line up. I've tried to make the cutting process generally as painless as possible. Feel free to skip this section if you want. I like to cut these together because sometimes there's a little bit of a weirdness if you try to overlap those rows. But basically you're going to get a nice size card. It's nice and big, and you get them, they look good. If you ever wanted to trim the corners, like if you printed this on cardstock and you wanted to trim the corners, that makes them look really sharp too. It makes it a little bit easier to shuffle the cards or to kind of move through them if you cut the corners. So 1986 will be the next season set out, and I think this is one of the favorite seasons for a lot of gamers. So hopefully it will scratch a good itch for everybody. And I'm also working on right now the Pocket Edition. So the Pocket Edition will be released at the same time, and you can let me know in the comments if you're interested in the if anybody's interested, what's it called, in the roster, the printed roster sheets. I know I did that for the 1980 season. I sold one to myself and maybe one other. So I'm not sure if those are of interest to anyone after I've released the cards, the Pocket Edition cards. So it may just be, if I could just whittle that down to one, that would be great. But if there are people who still want the printed roster sheets, and if you're interested in that, just leave it down in the comments. And I can do them both. It's not a huge deal. But I prefer not to waste my time if most of the people just want, gamers just want the Pocket Edition as a printed set. I will say the Pocket Edition takes a little bit more time, which is, sometimes how these things work. It's like the thing that everybody wants is the thing that takes more time. But it's worth it. But sometimes you just wish, gosh, why couldn't people want the thing that I can just pump out, But this is how it goes. So one of the things I'm doing here, and you can't see it with these because I didn't print out every single page. I just did the first page, 2 pages of each team, because I'm just doing a one-off. I'm not doing a full season replay or anything like that. So one of the things that I did was I made it so that each team gets cut off, and then like if these two guys were the last two guys for the batters. The rest of this would be blank. So you can just print off team by team, excuse me, without printed, like it wouldn't start a new team here. These would just be blank. So you don't see that here because I didn't print off every single player, but hopefully that has actually been requested lots of times from lots of people. It just requires more time, effort, energy, attention than just dumping them onto a page. So for me, it requires more. But I think if that's something, I don't want that to be something that's holding people up from playing the game, for sure. These are the Pittsburgh Pirates. Got Sid Bream here. What I love about these two teams, these are like the foundations for two of the better teams for probably the next 6 or 7 years of baseball history. The Giants obviously went to the World Series in 1989. Pittsburgh should have been in the series. Braves knocked them out in 92, I believe. And then they were close a couple of other times as well. Barry Bonds was all everything. You see Bobby Bonilla here, played in 63 games. So young Bobby Bonilla. Like I said, this is just the foundation, really. This 86 season is the foundation of the next team up. And I always love those seasons. I love those seasons like right before. So I like to see when you see a run of players like where they get into the playoffs, they get into the World Series, like 4 out of 7 years or something like that. You know, what about the season or two before? That's where you're going to see the guys. They're young. They're just getting in. You're sort of seeing them at the beginning of their careers. And always interested in those kinds of teams myself. So let's see. Maybe I could do all these together. Yeah, I'm wasting a cut here. So they're a little bit off. This isn't a production set or anything. So let's just go with it. It'll save us a cut. So those are all the Pirates. So, okay. Alright, so here's the last of the Pirates set. I printed 3 of the Pirate batters. What makes the set is going to be about 2,000 players or so. It's gonna, what makes it so large is that all the National League pitchers they have hitter cards. So you can see that in some of these. Jimmy Wynn. 50 games, he got 16 at bats. So he must have started a handful of games to get those at bats. So we got all those guys. This is starting the Giants. So Robby Thompson. You can see Will the Thrill. Candy Maldonado. Oh, Dan Gladden. Didn't know he played for him. Robby Thompson. Chili Davis. Chili Davis played for the Angels for quite a bit of while. Jose Uribe. He was on some of those really good Giants teams in the late 80s, early 90s. You can see that it should only take you a few cuts to get through each page. You just follow the lines and be able to make your way through it. Got Vita Blue on this team. It's definitely would be at the end of his career in 1986. There's a few crossover guys from the 70s in this set, but you get a lot more of those in the 1980s set. I was trying to get more 80s into the mix and the rotation. I know there's a lot of gamers, guys who would be in my age range or a little bit older, I guess, but ones who are playing my game or in the range to play my game who would be interested in the 80s. So I think older gamers may not be quite as inclined to play my games. A little bit too sabermetric heavy sometimes, I think, for some guys. And I would hope that all people would find some joy in these games. They play just like everything else. They're just based off of sabermetric stats, but they play as easily and as quickly as any other game. Alright, well, I'm going to sort out these two teams. I just wanted to show you how the cards come, and then I'm going to put together a couple of starting lineups here, and then we'll get a full game between the 86 Giants and the 86 Pirates. Alright, so we got our starting lineups all set. Let's go through the starting lineups for this game between the 1986 Pirates and the 86 Giants. So for the visiting Pirates, we're going to be playing in Candlestick Park. So visiting Pirates, it's R.J. Reynolds leading off. Rafi Belliard is playing shortstop and hitting second. Bonds will be in center field hitting third. Jim Morrison is the third baseman. We're going to play him at third base. He's a right-handed hitter. He's hitting in the cleanup spot. Sid Bream hitting fifth at first base. Tony Pena is the catcher. He is hitting sixth. Johnny Ray is at second base hitting seventh. Mike, I want to say his name is Mike Diaz, in right field, hitting right and hitting eighth in the eighth hole. And Rick Rhoden is the pitcher. He's hitting ninth. Rhoden will be on the mound. He's got a 30 stamina and a 3.31 FIP. In fact, both pitchers with a 3.31 FIP, which is interesting. For the Giants, it's going to be Dan Gladden leading off and playing center field. Jose Uribe is at shortstop hitting second. Candy Maldonado in left hitting third. Chili Davis is in right field hitting fourth. Bob Brenly, the catcher, is hitting fifth. Will Clark is hitting sixth in this game. He's the first baseman. Chris Brown is at third base hitting seventh. Robby Thompson will be hitting eighth. He's playing second base. And Mike Krukow is the pitcher. So Krukow, right-hander, can go 29 batters for his stamina, and 3.31 is his FIP. Now, you don't see any dice on the table, so we're going to go to the on-base dice roller. And if you just look up on-base dice roller, if you just put that into search, then it'll bring up the on-base dice roller app. You just click on that, and then now you got access to that application. We'll just be, when you click roll, it gives you the dice rolls and it gives you the D9 roll. So everything that you need. I haven't gone through and made sure that the lower number is first, so you'll just have to kind of see what the lower number is. All right, so let's get started with this one. It's going to be Mike Krukow. He's facing off against R.J. Reynolds, Rafi Belliard, and Barry Bonds to lead off the top of the first. So a 34 is going to be a blank here, and for Reynolds, a 34 is going to be a long single. His speed is only a 6, or it is a 6, and so he's going to turn that into a hustle double. So Reynolds at first, and I'm just going to hold the cards up like this, so hopefully you can see everything. It's a little backward, so let's do it like this. Let's push you over here. you here. And let's move the score sheet. Let's put this part over here. How about that? So I can hold with my left hand. I can roll with my right hand. And we'll be like this. Okay, so I gotta make sure this is on the camera. All right, so up next, Rafi Belliard. He's got a man at second base. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and bunt him over. That's why I put Belliard second, so I have somebody to bunt with. So 1 or a 2, he's going to be out with a strikeout. Otherwise, he moves him over with a sacrifice hit, and I'm looking at the D9. It's a 9, and that's a good sacrifice. So that'll be out number 1, but they put a runner in scoring position for Barry Bonds. 24. 24 is going to be a double play or a strikeout, so that's going to be a strikeout for Bonds as he gets caught looking. Bonds 223 average, 16 homers, 48 RBIs in 113 games. Excuse me, he did strike out 102 times, so in 400 at-bats. I don't know, what is that? It's probably like 500 plate appearances. So 2 down, and Krukow with a runner at third base trying to strand him. A 16 is going to be a deep fly ball. That goes out to left center field. But on the run is Candy Maldonado, and he makes the catch. Actually, it's going to be Dan Gladden making the catch on the run in center field. And that erases the threat as the Pirates get a runner to third base after a leadoff double. But they can't get him around to score, and we go to the bottom of the first with no score. Rick Rhoden heads out to the mound. He finishes warm-up tosses, and he's going to face off against Danny Gladden, Jose Uribe, and Candy Maldonado. 23 is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. No error on the play. Nice play there from Rafi Belliard as he makes a good throw to first and gets his man. 1 down, and a 26 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So this is right back to the pitcher. And it is an error on Rick Rhoden as he makes a throwing error. We'll call that E1. And Jose Uribe will be at first base with 1 out. Brings up Candy Maldonado. A 25 to Maldonado is a fly out to left field. No error on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th place hitter, Chili Davis. Now there's 2 outs with a runner at first base. 36 is going to be a walk off the pitcher card. As Maldonado heads down to first and Uribe moves up to second base. We got 2 on and 2 out for Bob Brenly. Brenly 8 batting runs. 113 weighted runs created plus and 2.8 WAR in 1986. Another walk. That's back-to-back walks from Rhoden. Only a 7% walk rate, so we'll see if he keeps that up. It'll be Will the Thrill getting his first at-bat. 35 is going to be a ground out. That'll be to the first baseman, and he'll toss it over to the pitcher covering. That is out number 3. So nice play at first. Good job by Rhoden to get out of a bases loaded 2-out situation. And we head to the top of the second inning, still scoreless in this game in 1986. For the Pirates, it'll be Sid Bream, Tony Pena, and Johnny Ray. 46, that's going to be a line out or a pop out. So that's a line out right back to the pitcher. Cat-like reflexes of Mike Krukow. And that's going to be out number 1. Nice catch. Off the bat of Sid Bream. Tony Pena to the plate. Tony Pena, long time Boston Red Sox and many others. He played for a lot of teams back in the 80s. His batting runs is an 18, or 8. His defense is a 15. So excellent defensive catcher. A 25 though is going to be a fly out to left field, and that's going to be out number 2. So a couple of quick ones for Mike Krukow, and that brings up the second baseman Johnny Ray, switch hitter, 7 batting runs in 1986. 55 is going to be a foul out. And that foul out is going to be down the right field line as the ball stays in play. Well, stays in the yard. And the right fielder is Chili Davis. He makes the catch just outside the line. And that's going to be out number 3 as Johnny Ray fouls out to right field. That's early a foul out to 9. All right, bottom of the second inning, no score. Rick Rhoden, he'll be facing off against the bottom 3, Chris Brown, Robby Thompson, and Mike Krukow. 44, that's going to be a walk, as he walks his 3rd man already in the first inning plus. Brings up Robby Thompson. Like I said before, he was second in Rookie of the Year voting. Sorry, that's what it was. 271 average, 7 homers, 47 RBIs in his first season. Always was a good player for the Giants. I remember him from those late 80s teams, early 90s teams, and just a really solid player. Playing second base in this game. It's a 14. A 14 is going to be a walk. So Rick Rhoden never really walked anybody. 76 in 250 innings, but here he's walking the whole stadium. We're going to have a sacrifice here, try to get those runners to second and third. Krukow is going to lay one down. 1 or 2 is unsuccessful. It's a 3, and that's going to be a successful sacrifice. So he gives himself up, but he gets both runners into scoring position for the top of the order. This will be Dan Gladden to the plate. Gladden grounded out to shortstop in his first at-bat. You got a 34. 34 is going to be a long single, so that's actually a double, a hustle double. As he hits one down the left field line, that's going to score both runs. And that's a 2 RBI single for Danny Gladden, who puts the Giants up 2-0. And in the process puts himself in scoring position. Jose Uribe to the plate. He sacrificed himself the last time up, but he's going to hit a long single here, and that's going to score that runner from second base as he knocks one into the left center field gap. And Uribe, with the RBI single, cleans off the bases. That's going to be 3 runs in here in the bottom of the second for the Giants against Rick Rhoden. Those walks coming back to get him. 56 is going to be a strikeout. That comes off the pitcher card. That'll be out number 2. We got a man at first base and 2 outs for Chili Davis. Davis in his first trip to the plate walked, but he's going to strike out here. That comes off of the pitcher card of 33. If it had come off Davis's card, it would have been a home run. But as it is, he strikes out, but the Giants put 3 on the board. And that's going to be a 3-0 lead for San Francisco as we head to the top of the third. It'll be Mike Diaz, Rick Rhoden, and then back to the top of the order for the Pirates. A 15 is going to be a base hit for Diaz. That's down the left field line. No speed to speak of for Diaz, less than 1 speed, so he's going to hang out there at first base. Brings up Rick Rhoden. Rick Rhoden, 278 average when in 90 at-bats. Had a 93 weighted runs created plus, so we're going to let him swing away and see what he can do. A 23 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So it's a ground out to second base. And there is an error on the second baseman. So we're going to go E4. And that is Robby Thompson with the error. And leaving the door open here for the Pirates as R.J. Reynolds comes to the plate. He doubled in his first at-bat. He's going to hit a base hit here. That's down the left field line. And let's see about scoring. Nobody's going to score because the guy going to third is slower than Christmas. So that's going to be a hold up at third. Basically, he's a 1 out of 9 to score. That's not enough for me. And so we're going to hold him up, see if Rafael Belliard can knock him in. We got the bases loaded, nobody out. And we got a 12. That's going to be a ground out with runner advancement. So a little tapper to the shortstop. The only play is to first base. All the runners are going to move up on the fielder's choice. And that's going to put runners at second and third. That's an RBI ground out for Rafi Belliard. And the Pirates are on the board. 3-1 is the score now, with Bonds coming up to the plate. A 35 to Bonds is going to be a ground out. This is going to go to third base. We're going to call that another fielder's choice. So 5-3 on the putout. Bonds is going to, that run's going to score from third. Fielder's choice, and that runner's going to move up. Hopefully you can see that okay. Turn it off. And maybe that's a little bit better. Jim Morrison, not the singer for the Doors, but the third baseman for the Pirates. He's up 15 batting runs, 16. I rounded up to 16. He's playing third base in this game. He's got one at third base, looking to tie up the score. A 35, though, is going to be a strikeout. So Krukow comes through with a strikeout, but he does give up 2 runs to the Pirates in the third. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. It's 3-2. Nice tight one here in Candlestick Park in San Francisco. For the Giants, it'll be Brenly, Clark, and Brown in the bottom of the third. A 45, that's going to be a long single. For Brenly, he's going to take a big turn at first, but he's going to head back. No chance for taking an extra base there. Brings up Will the Thrill. Clark with a ground out to first base in his first at bat, but he's going to have a single with an error check here. That's a base hit into left center field. Picked up by the left fielder, and no error on the play. Station to station is Bob Brenly, and we got runners at first and second for Chris Brown, nobody out. A 55 is going to be a double play or a strikeout, so that goes to the pitcher. We do have a double play in order here, so we're going to take that. We're going to go 1 to 6 to 3 for the double play. So that's out number 1, out number 2, and then the runner's going to move up to third. Brenly will be at third base with 2 outs, and Robby Thompson coming to the plate. So nice play by Rick Rhoden to make a good throw to second base, and they double him up. And then he follows up with a strikeout, so that's a 56. 56 is going to be a strikeout swinging, and Rhoden gets out of a first and second jam with nobody out. So we head to the top of the fourth inning. It is 3-2 San Francisco over Pittsburgh in this 1986 matchup. Definitely lineups that never happened, but maybe even a game that never happened. I don't know. So we got Krukow going out against Sid Bream, Tony Pena, and Johnny Ray. A 36 from Krukow is going to be a walk. That's his first walk of the game. And it puts Sid Bream at first base. Bream, average speed with 5. Brings up Tony Pena. 12, that's going to be a ground out with a runner advancement. So this is a little tapper out in front of the plate. The only play for the pitcher is going to be to first base. So that's going to allow the runner to move up to second. And Sid Bream will be at second for Johnny Ray. Let's see if Ray can drive him in. 56 is going to be a strikeout. And he gets caught looking. So Krukow gets him on a devastating curveball. And there's 2 outs now with a runner at second. Base hit's going to score a run and tie this one up. Let's see if Diaz can come through. He gets Wood on it. This one is driven deep to right center field. Going back on it is the right fielder Davis, and he makes a fine running catch just before the wall in right field. And that's going to be out number 3. So Pittsburgh gets one to second base, but can't bring him home. And that's going to be a 3-2 lead for San Francisco as we head to the bottom of the fourth. San Francisco sends up the pitcher, Krukow, and then Dan Gladden and Jose Uribe. A 23, Rhoden lets it fly. That's going to be yet another walk from Rick Rhoden. And Dan Gladden to the plates. Gladden with a 13. This is going to be a ground out. And that ground out goes to the shortstop. We're going to take the fielder's choice at second. That'll be out number 1. Let's roll against Dan Gladden's speed. A 1 to 6, he'll be safe at first. Otherwise, it's a double play. It's a 7, and that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Rick Rhoden. Rhoden living it up. He's got 2 double plays in 2 innings, and that's really helping him out of this jam. Jose Uribe to the plate. Uribe 1 for 2. 24 is going to be a strikeout as he gets caught looking. And that's 3 down in the 4th. So we head to the top of the 5th inning. 3-2 is our score. San Francisco over Pittsburgh. Mike Krukow still on the mound. He can go 29 batters. He's not even to 18 yet. And he'll face off against Rhoden. And then the top of the order, R.J. Reynolds and Rafi Belliard. Rhoden, a good hitter. He's going to walk here, though. It's the 2nd walk of the day for Krukow. Rhoden, not much speed, just a 2 speed. Brings up R.J. Reynolds. 34 to Reynolds is going to be a base hit. That's a long single that he, again, is going to turn into a hustle double. So that's going to push the runner all the way to 3rd. And that's a little hit down the line, a little line drive down the line that he hustles into second base for the 2-bagger. And that's going to bring up Rafi Belliard. Belliard with a chance to do some damage here. A 45, he is going to do just that. That is also hit down the right field line, and everybody's going to score on this one. That's a 2 RBI double. Belliard now with 3 RBIs on the day, and he is going to put the Pirates ahead by a score of 4-3 as both runners come around to score. And Belliard winds up at second base. Still nobody out. Score is 4-3, and Barry Bonds comes to the plates. Not going to walk Bonds here. A 14, maybe I should have. That's going to be a walk. That's the same thing. 3rd walk of the day for Mike Krukow. So Bonds winds up at first. Not the worst thing. Now you are in a double play situation. 13, possible double play here as a little tapper in front. We're going to go 2-6 on the fielder's choice as they whip it down to second base. That'll be out number 1. Bonds is out at second. And we roll against Morrison's speed, which is a 4. And it's a 1, and he's going to leg it out to first. So we go 2-6 on the fielder's choice. Runner moves up to second. The double play is still in order if they can get Sid Bream to roll into one. But we've got runners at first and third. 2 runs already in for the Pirates. They have a 4-3 lead. And El Cid to the plate. This is going to be a base knock. That's going to drive in the run from third base. It's an RBI single for Bream. He is now 1 for 2. And coming around to score is going to be Belliard. And going to second base will be Morrison. So runners at first and second, it's now 5-3 with 3 runs in here in the top of the 5th inning. 23, that's going to be a ground out with an error check. Possible error on the first baseman. The first baseman is Will Clark, and he's the only minus fielder for the Giants, and he's going to make an error there. We're going to go E3 on the play. That allows everyone to move up 1 base. And how long do you stay with Krukow? I don't know. We're going to play the infield in right here. And what that's going to do is if there's a double play, we'll go home to first. It's a 16. That's going to be a deep fly ball to left center field. Standing with his heels against the wall is Candy Maldonado as he catches that one. And that'll be out number 2, but that's a sacrifice fly as the run's going to come in from third. And all the other runners will also move up. So we'll have runners at second and third. It's now 6-3 as 4 runs are in the 5th. Mike Diaz to the plate, 55. That's going to be a line out, and that's the line drive to the second baseman. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So it should be a 2. But 4 runs come in for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the top of the 5th. It's now 6-3, our score. And it'll be Candy Maldonado, Chili Davis, and Bob Brenly to the plate for the Giants. 45, it's usually good things. It'll be a single with an error check. So it's a single to center. No error on the play. And Candy Maldonado with his first hit of the day. He's 1 for 3. Brings up Chili Davis. 46 from Chili Davis is going to be a line out. That's a line drive right back to the pitcher. Good catch there from Rick Rhoden on that soft liner. And Maldonado is going to stay at first. That'll bring up Brinley to the plate. A 25 is a fly out to center with an error check. There's no error on the play. That's going to be out number 2 as Bonds makes the catch in center field. Will Clark, the last hope for the Giants here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They're down 6-3. 24 is going to be a strikeout swinging. A strikeout looking, sorry. So the Giants get one on in the 5th, but they can't get them around. And so we go to the top of the 6th inning. It's still 6-3. We are going to leave Krukow in there for one more inning. Let's see if he can get through this. He'll face the pitcher first, and then Reynolds and Belliard. And 11 is going to be a strikeout, and that'll be off of Krukow's card as he gets Rhoden striking out. R.J. Reynolds to the plate. Reynolds is 3 for 3. Couple doubles and a single. He is going to foul out here to the shortstop as the shortstop ranges over into foul territory and makes the catch. Nice running catch out there along the left field line. And that was Rafi Belliard. I'm sorry, it's not Belliard. Who is it? Jose Uribe making the catch. Rafi Belliard, the shortstop. Hopefully I'm keeping that on the screen. A 23. Belliard had a 2-run double in his last at bat, but he's got a walk right here. He'll be at first base. He's got a 6 speed. Not going to steal in front of Bonds. Let's see if Bonds can get it together. This is a 34. A 34 is going to be a long single for Barry Bonds. That turns into a hustle double. And with 2 outs, that's the single. And the double is going to score another run. And that is going to be Barry Bonds with an RBI double. Brings up Jim Morrison to the plate. Morrison is 0 for 3. A 24 is going to be a strikeout. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning. The Pirates tack on another one. They lead by a score of 7-3 on the RBI hustle double from Barry Bonds. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-3 our score. Rick Rhoden coming out for the 6th inning. He'll face off against Chris Brown, Robby Thompson, and the pitcher spot, which will have a pinch hitter, I believe. 25, that's going to be a fly out to center. There's no error on the play. And Chris Brown is now 0 for 2. Get into a ground ball double play in his last at bat. Robby Thompson to the plate. Thompson 271 average in 1986. He's going to get a piece of this one as he hits it deep down the left field line into the corner. And going back on it is R.J. Reynolds. Makes a nice catch right at the wall. And that's going to be 2 outs in the inning. Let's go and get a new pinch hitter for Mike Krukow. And let's go with Jeffrey Leonard. This is the 6th inning. Leonard bats right-handed. He's got -1, -2, 7. We'll make a choice about whether to keep him in the game or not, but Leonard will be pinch hitting for Krukow. Krukow's given up 7 runs in this one. 34, though, that's going to be a long single for Jeffrey Leonard, who has a 7 speed, so he turns that into a hustle double as it takes a minute for Bonds to get to the ball, and Leonard slides in safely with a pinch hit double. Brings up Danny Gladden to the plate. He grounded into a double play in his last at bat, but he's got a 2-run double on his resume as well. 24, that's going to be a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning as Rhoden gets him with his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6K of the day. The Giants don't score in the bottom of the 6th. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. Let's get a new pitcher. Who to bring in? This guy looks pretty good. Jeff Robinson. How about that? right-hander. 299 FIP. So pretty salty. We got 6 innings for Rhoden. He gives up, for Krukow, he gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. There are 7 runs. I don't know if they're all earned or not. So this one for sure is unearned. So we'll go 7 and 6. He had 2, 3, 4 walks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks. Alright, so Krukow is on the hook for the loss. And we have a 7-3 lead for Pittsburgh here in the top of the 7th inning. Sid Bream to the plate. Bream is 1 for 2. A 33 is going to be a strikeout off Robinson's card as he strikes out swinging. That is out number 1. Tony Pena to the plate. A 13 is going to be a ground out. That's right to the first baseman. So he'll take it to the bag himself. Will Clark scampering over. And that's 2 down in the inning. Top of the 7th inning, 7-3 is our score. 45, that's going to be a long single to center field. A single with an error check. Sorry. And Johnny Ray is on for the first time. Does have a sac fly in this one. Mike Diaz to the plate. He's also 1 for 3. This is going to be a deep fly ball to right center field. Ranging back on it is Chili Davis. He's got plenty of room. And that's a deep fly ball to right. And that will be out number 3. So the Giants hold off the Pirates in the 7th. Good job by Robinson to come in and sort of stem the tide. We go to the bottom of the 7th. They're down by 4 runs, the Giants are. Still facing off against Rhoden. He's at 27-28. He can go 30 before we have to drop him down one column for his stamina. So it'll be Jose Uribe to the plate, Candy Maldonado, and Chili Davis for the Giants. 33 comes off of Rhoden's card. That's going to be a strikeout swinging. And that's out number 1. So Jose Uribe goes down on strikes. Candy Maldonado to the plate. Maldonado 1 for 3. 24. It's going to make him 1 for 4. That's 3 Ks in a row if we go back to the last inning for Rick Rhoden, who seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on. Brings up Chili Davis. Davis is going to hit a single. This is into center field. The error check, he passes, so this is going to be a base hit. And Barry Bonds, no error on the play. Bob Brenly to the plate. Brenly is 1 for 2. 45. That's going to make him 2 for 3. That's another single with an error check. That's to right field. No error on the play. With 2 outs, the runner's going to go all the way to third. So Brenly with the base knocked to right. Sets up Will Clark with an RBI opportunity. 2 outs and 2 on. Base hit, scores a run here. And a 14 is going to be a walk. So that's going to be bases loaded now. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Chris Brown. Chris Brown, pretty good hitter. And we're going to leave it up to Rhoden. Rhoden, 15-12 on the season, 2.84 ERA. We're going to leave it up to him to get through this inning. Let's see, he's got a 4-run lead, see if he can hold it. A 23 is going to be a ground out. That goes to shortstop. The error check passes, and we're just going to go 6-3 on the putout. That'll be out number 3. And Rhoden gets out of a bases loaded situation in the bottom of the 7th. Gut punch there for the Giants as they can't get the big hit. And we head to the top of the 8th inning. It will be 7-3 our score, or Pittsburgh over San Francisco. Rick Rhoden, we're going to hit for him. He's sort of reached his limit. And let's get a pinch hitter here. Joe Orsulak is maybe like first man off the bench. Trying to think. Actually, you know what? Bobby Bonilla didn't play much, but I'm going to put him in the game just because, you know, who doesn't love a good Bobby Bo sighting? So Bonilla would become one of the keys to their success in the future. He only played in 63 games here. Pinch hitter in the 8th. He is a switch hitter. -3, -4, -5. All right, so Bobby Bonilla to the plate. Bonilla 240 average, 1 homer, and 192 at-bats. He would certainly change that narrative throughout his career. Robinson's still on the mound. He'll face off against Bonilla to start this inning. 23 is going to be a ground out to the third baseman, but that's an error. We'll go E5. And that's an error on Chris Brown. So Bobby Bonilla at first base for R.J. Reynolds. Reynolds is 3 for 4. A 45, that makes him 4 for 5 with a base hit into right center field. Possible error on the right fielder. That is Chili Davis. He's a plus fielder, so no error on the play. So that's going to be a base hit, and that will send the runner to second base. Rafi Belliard to the plate, nobody out. We're going to bunt with Belliard. I've already sacrificed with him once. It was successful. 1 or 2 is going to be an out with a strikeout. Otherwise, it's going to be a successful sacrifice. It's a 7. He lays it down beautifully. Sack is out number 1. And that's going to put runners at second and third, so pressure on. Let's go ahead and walk Barry Bonds. So we're going to intentionally walk Bonds. It begins already. That sets up the double play situation. So we're going to play the infield in. Anything that's a double play is going to go home to first. Any ground out is going to go home, and then we'll check against the runner's speed for a double play. 46. 46 is a line out or pop out. That's a pop out to right field. We could also let's do a pop out to second base. Sometimes I like to just use the infielders there. So pop out to second. No runner advancement on the play. Terrific pitch by Jeff Robinson. Let's see if he can make one more to get out of the inning. Sid Bream to the plate. Bream is 1 for 3. He struck out in his last at bat. 66, though, that's going to be a 2-bagger as he rips one into the right center field gap, and that gets all the way to the wall. That is going to be a bases clearing double, as with 2 outs, everybody gets extra bases, and that's going to be a 3-run double. As all 3 runs come in to score, this one is now a blowout. It's 10-3. As Sid Bream comes through, he's got 4 RBIs in this game. He had 268 with 16 homers and 77 RBIs in 1986, so big run producer for them. 36 is going to be a walk. That puts runners at first and second. There's only 1 out, or sorry, there's 2 outs in the inning. A 14 is going to be a hit by pitch. So because this is a 1, it's a hit by pitch. So hit by pitch or a walk if it's a 2 or greater. So he plunks them. And now we have the bases loaded again for Mike Diaz. 12 is going to be a ground out. That is a little tapper in front of the plate. Only play is to first base, but with 2 outs, that's the only play we need to make. But 3 runs come in the 8th. It's now 7, 8, 10-3. Pirates over the Giants. We need a new pitcher, and I suppose he's right on top. Why not? Bob Walk. You can go 13 batters, a 4.37 FIP. Had a better ERA, 3.75 ERA. So maybe it was helped out a little bit by his defense. Maybe a little luck. We got Robby Thompson, Mike Krukow, or Robby Thompson the pitcher spot, and then Dan Gladden for the Giants. Giants are down 10-3. They need 7 runs here. It'd be a miracle, but you never know. They start with a strikeout, though, as Robby Thompson strikes out. That's his second K of the day. He's 0 for 3. We need to get a new pinch hitter. So we had Jeffrey Leonard and let's see, Mike Aldretti. I guess that's how you say his name, Aldretti. He'll pinch hit in the 8th. Left, 3-1-4. And he's pinch hitting here. Aldretti to the plate. He had 250 average, couple homers, 25 RBIs, and 216 at bats. He'll pinch hit for the pitcher. So that's going to be Robinson out of the game. Bob Walk has started this inning with a strikeout. Let's see what he does here. 55. That's going to be a foul out to the shortstop. And that's Belliard again going into foul territory to make the catch down the left field line as Aldretti gets jammed a little. Brings up Dan Gladden. Gladden is 1 for 4. He's got a 2 RBI double, but here he's going to strike out. Is that right? Oh, I'm sorry. That's going to be a base hit. That's off the pitcher card. We have to look at the pitcher card. So Dan Gladden with a base hit. And that will bring up Jose Uribe, a 56. That's going to be a walk. So, Bob Walk, not a fantastic year here. So that's going to put a couple on for Candy Maldonado. Let's see if he can punch one out. 36. Before that was going to be a walk, but now it's a single. So with 2 outs, that's going to be a base hit that scores a run. This guy's going to go to third, and that's going to be an RBI single. So Dan Gladden comes around to score from second with 2 outs, and that pushes the runner to third base. So Uribe at third, Maldonado at first, and Chili Davis to the plate. It's now 10-4, Pittsburgh. 33 is going to be a home run to right center field. Ooh, Chili Davis hits a jack, and that's 3 runs in. All of a sudden, things getting a little tighter here in San Francisco. The hometown crowd urging them on. They've scored 4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 10-7, and Bob Brenly to the plate. A 24, that's going to be another base hit, and I think it's just time to get the guy out of the game. All right, let's see if we can find a better reliever. Bob Walk tried really hard. How about trying to find guys that got in? How about Don Robinson? He goes a righty and a 3-4-3. That's a little bit more like it. Okay, Don Robinson into the game. Bob Walk, last 2/3 of an inning, he gives up 4 runs. And he is responsible for this base runner as well. So let's see. Will the Thrill is 1 for 3. Make that 2 for 4 as he doubles down the left field line, going the other way with it, and that's going to score another run. RBI double from Will Clark is going to bring that run around to score with 2 outs. And all of a sudden, it's 10-8, and San Francisco pulling off the The comeback of the century, another double. This one to Chris Brown. He rips it into the center or left center field gap. That's another run scoring double. It's now 10-9. And can you believe the comeback? Wow. All right. Robby Thompson to the plate. 12. That's going to be a ground out. Right back to the pitcher. A little tapper in front of the plate. The only play is going to be to first base, which is okay. That's going to be the third out of the inning as they finally get the Giants out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now we have a 10-9 ball game. The 8th inning saw 9 runs come across. And that's tighten things up significantly. We need to get a new pitcher in for the Giants. Let's see. Who will close it down? They have Steve Carlton here. Well, those are the hitter cards. Here are our relievers. We got Scotty Gereltz. It's definitely a potential. Minton, no. Williams didn't pitch much. Looks like Scott Gereltz is where we're going. So Gereltz with 10 strikeouts, or 10 strikeouts, 10 saves. He'll come in here, and it'll be Gereltz. He's a right-hander. 14 batters he can go, and a 3.92. So he's coming out of the second column, so not out of the first column. His ERA better than his FIP. Let's see how he handles. We need to get a pinch hitter here. So how is he going to handle these? Guys here. Don't know if Mazzilli was available, but let's go ahead and put him in the game. He would have been getting quite old at this point. A 1 -5. All right, he'll come in and pinch hit for the pitcher spot. So Robinson is out of the game. And that's going to put Gereltz against Mazzilli, Reynolds, and Belliard. 22, that's going to be a pinch hit double over the center fielder's head. And Lee Mazzilli is going to wind up at second as he one-hops the wall. And that brings up R.J. Reynolds with the man in scoring position. A 46 is going to be a strikeout. That's out number 1. Rafi Belliard to the plate. 45 for Belliard. That's an RBI single, as he hits a long single, and he'll wind up with a double as he hits this one into left field. That's another RBI, of course. 4 RBIs on the day for Rafi Belliard. He had no homers and 31 RBIs in 1986. Brings up Barry Bonds. Bonds is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of walks as well. A 24 is going to be a ground out. You can see that off of Gerelt's card. So that's a ground out to the second baseman. That's going to advance the runner over to third base on the fielder's choice. Ground ball to the right side. And we got a runner at third base now for Jim Morrison. Morrison 0 for the day. 36 is a blank here, and 36 is going to be a fly ball into right center field. Chili Davis is going to be there. He makes the catch for the third out, but Pittsburgh does score one more, and that puts them up 11-9 as they get one off of Scotty Gereltz. Lee Mazzilli with the double. Belliard with the double knocks him in. And we are headed to the bottom of the 9th inning. We need to get a new pitcher. Let's see who was saving games. for these guys. Patterson, definitely a candidate. Barry Jones, a candidate. Pat Clements, never heard of him. Jose De Leon. Okay, well, we got 3 guys here. Let's see. Clements is the most obvious choice because he has the most games pitched, so we'll go with him. So Pat Clements coming in to try to shut the door on the Giants. The Giants scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th, so we'll see. He is a lefty, can go 4, and a 3.64. So second column for him as well, and he'll face off against these guys. He'll face off against the bottom of the order. We need to get a new hitter. How about Joel Youngblood? So we'll go with all right, pinch hitter is Joel Youngblood. 255 average, 5 homers, 28 RBIs, and 184 at-bats. A 105 weighted runs created plus, so not a scrub coming off the bench. And he is an infielder. So he'll be facing off against Pat Clements. Clements has 1 result on a 24, so we'll just pay attention to that. This is going to be a 15, and that's going to be a pinch hit single down the right field line. His speed is only a 2, so he's not going to try to turn that into anything. Brings up Dan Gladden, the center fielder. Let's see here. Let's bring in Randy Kutcher. Kutcher to pinch run. So he's going to be a 6 there. So Randy Kutcher to pinch run right there. So he's a 6. So we'll keep that in mind. Not necessarily for stealing, but for advancing extra bases. A 25, it's not going to matter. This is a fly out into center field, and there's no error on the play. So Bonds makes the catch in center, and Dan Gladden is out. The Pirates 2 outs away now from an 11-9 victory. Jose Uribe to the plate. Uribe with 1 single and 4 at-bats. He's going to hit it into a ground ball. This goes to third base. A little tapper. The only play is going to be to first base. So that runner is going to move up to second on the fielder's choice. But now there's 2 outs and a runner at second base. Base hit scores a run, gets them within 1. Home run for Maldonado would put them into a tie with Pittsburgh, but they're down to their final out. He's got a home run on an 11, so that's a possibility from Clements. 252 average, 18 homers, 85 RBIs for Candy Maldonado. A 45 is a single with an error check, so that's a single to left. No error on the plate, but it is going to score a run. So with 2 outs, that single brings home the runner from second. And wouldn't you know it, Chili Davis comes up with an opportunity, a 33. That's open. So that's a possibility for a game-winning home run from Chili Davis. Let's see. He already hit a home run once. He had a 3-run jack in his last at-bat. He's got hits in his last 2 at-bats. And can Chili Davis be the hero? He's looking for a 33. There's no home runs off the pitcher card, so that's all he's got. And that would win the game for the Giants. A 66, that's just as good. That's going to tie it up as he doubles with 2 out. And Chili Davis wanting desperately to be player of the game as he drives in the game-tying run. So 2 runs have come in the bottom of the 9th inning. Another base hit from Bob Brenly would end this one and walk it off. Let's see. Brenly is 2, 3 for 4 on the day. A 12 is going to be a ground out. That's hit hard, but right to the third baseman. And the only play is to first. But the Giants improbably score 8 in the last 2 innings to tie this game and get us all the way to extra innings. So we're going to take out Scotty Garrelts. And who do we bring in? Got Juan Berenguer, Mark Davis, pitched in a lot of games. How about Mark Davis? And this one is going to go to extra innings. Davis, a lefty, 5 batters, and 2.81 is his FIP. So tough go of it here for San Francisco as they face one of the better pitchers in the National League. And it's going to be Sid Bream to the plate. Bream with a 3 RBI double in his last at-bat. The Pirates would be sunk without that. We got a 7, 8, 9, 11, 8, 11. 11 to 11 as we go into the 10th inning. A 45. That's going to be a long single for Sid Bream. Bream just a 5 speed, so he takes a big turn at first and then heads back. But another base hit for Sid. He's now 3 for 5. Tony Pena to the plate. 12 is going to be a ground out. This goes to short. That's just going to be a little tapper. Only play is to first, and the runner's going to move up to second on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Johnny Ray with an opportunity to knock a run in. He is 1 for 3. Got hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, but he's going to hit a single here. This is up the middle, and no error on the play. Sid Bream is, should they send him home, he's a 1 to 5, so that's about a 55% chance to score. They're going to try it. Sid Bream rounding third and barreling home. The throw from Dan Gladden is going to be in time as it's a 6. They needed a 1 to 5 to score, and he gets gunned down by Dan Gladden from center field. What a play. And that's going to be 2 outs in the inning. Runner at first, though, is Johnny Ray, so they do have a man at first, and it's going to be Mike Diaz to the plate. A 13, that'll be a grounder to short. The play is to first base, and what a huge throw by Dan Gladden in the 10th to gun down Sid Bream at the plate. And that's going to take us to the bottom of the 10th inning. Clement's still on the mound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters. Actually, let's get a new pitcher for him. He'll be out. And Barry Jones will be in. Barry Jones will be in. Comes in right here. He's a righty. Can go 6, 3, 9, 5. All right, Will Clark to the plate. He is 2 for 4 on the day. He had an RBI double back in that 6-run 8th. And Will Clark will lead it off. Barry Jones, just a result on a 24. It's a 26. That's going to be a ground out as he rolls over it to second base. And that'll be out number 1. Brings up Chris Brown to the plate. 46. 46 is going to be a line out right back to the pitcher. Good reflexes there from Barry Jones as he catches that line out. And that'll bring up Robby Thompson with 2 down. A 26 for him is also going to be a ground out as he hits it to second base. 1, 2, 3 inning for Barry Jones, which is good for his team. We're going to leave We're going to leave Jones out there. I don't believe that I have his card, but I could check. Let's see. I do have quite a few pitcher cards here. Oh, look at that. Barry Jones. So Barry Jones is going to be in the game. He is a pitcher and -1 +1. He hits right-handed. So he'll be inserted in. And it'll be Jones leading off, and then R.J. Reynolds and Belliard. We'll see if they can get to Bonds. It's going to be Davis still on the mound. That'll be a walk to the pitcher, and that's going to drive every manager nuts. At that point, it was Roger Craig in the mound, shaking his head at Davis as he walks the pitcher. Pitcher at first base with R.J. Reynolds coming to the plate. 24 is going to be a double play, though. That's going to go 6-4-3. And now Roger Craig is clapping, praying, thanking the Lord. All right. Rafael Belliard, though, 34 is going to be a single as he hits one up the middle. He's at first base for Barry Bonds. Can Barry Bonds do damage here in the top of the 11th? A 56 is going to be a strikeout, as Bonds is the third out of the inning. And that ends it. Mark Davis gets through the inning. So we've had 1, 2, 3 pitchers, but I have 4 here. I think Davis came in right here. All right, we are headed to the, what is it, the bottom of the 11th. I'm not going to play forever. So if this winds up a tie, it just winds up a tie. I know it's going to be unsatisfactory for some people. Who do we got here? Who do we got? How about, we'll just empty the bench. We'll put Bob Melvin into the game. So Melvin's going to come in to pinch hit. Melvin is a -11 +4. Pinch hitter in the 11th. And Bob Melvin, 224 average, 5 homers, in 268 at-bats. Let's see if he can come through. He is facing Barry Jones, who remains in the game. He only faced 3 batters, so he can go 6 for his stamina. And a 34 from Bob Melvin is going to be a base knock, as he hits one past the second baseman into right center field. He's standing at first base with nobody out. Danny Gladden to the plate. 13 is going to be a ground out. This goes to second base. That'll be a force out at second. That's out number 1. We'll roll against Dan Gladden's speed, which is a 6. It's a 3, and he's going to beat that out. So we're going to go 4-6 on the put out, and Dan Gladden is at first base. Let's see about stealing. A 1-6, he'll be safe. 7-9, he'll be out. And it's a 6, and he's just in there under the tag. With the stolen base for Dan Gladden and Jose Uribe to the plate. Uribe with an opportunity to walk this one off, and base hit will win the game. A 25, though, is going to be a fly out. That's to right center field, and no error on the play. So that's out number 2. And Candy Maldonado. One more opportunity here. Maldonado is 3 for 6. And let's see if he can come through with the big hit. A 13 is not going to do it as he taps it out in front of the plate. And that'll be a ground out for out number 3. So we head to the 12th inning. That's as far as I'm going to go. If nobody wins this, then that's going to be it. Let's bring one Berenguer into the game. He is a righty, 7 stamina, and 340 FIP. So still pitching pretty well. 46 games. He was 2-3 with a 2.70 ERA. He did have 4 saves. He's going to come in right here and face the middle of the order. It'll be Jim Morrison, Sid Bream, and Tony Pena. Morrison still looking to get on with a hit for his first time up, or his first time today. Instead, he's going to take a walk. And so he winds up at first base with nobody out. Just a 4 speed, not a real threat to steal. Brings up Sid Bream. Sid Bream's had a day. He's 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. 25, though, is going to be a fly out to center field. No error on the play. As a center fielder, Gladden is going to make the catch. And no runner movement advancement. Brings up Tony Pena. 25 for him as he gets under it. He hits this one to left center field. And caught in left center by Candy Maldonado, the Candyman. And that's going to be 2 outs in the inning. 2 down for Johnny Ray, runner at first base. Ray is 2 for 4, I believe. And a 15 is going to be a base hit into center field. That's going to push the runner all the way to third base, and it'll be runners at the corners now. For Mike Diaz. Can Diaz be the hero that Pittsburgh needs? A 35? I don't think so. That's going to be a grounder to the second baseman. The play is made at first, and Berenguer gets out of a mess. Then we head to the bottom of the 12th inning. Giants looking to take this one home. Jones with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's get a new pitcher here. Let's go with Bob Patterson. This will be it, even if nobody wins. So 208 is his FIP. Pitched much better than his ERA would suggest. Pitched in 11 games, 4.95 ERA, but 208 FIP. 13% K percentage, only a 3% walk percentage, so really, really low walk percentage. You could do some funky things here, like this is 36 is it's almost a 6% walk percentage, so you're talking about half here. You could just roll again, and if the D9 is 1 to, what would it be? If it's 1 to 5, it's no walk. 6 to 9, it's a walk. Something like that. That would get you pretty close to his actual averages. So, like, or if you roll one of these, 1 to 3 is a walk. 4 to 6, no walk. That type of thing. So maybe we can do that if he winds up walking somebody, because his walk rate is so low. Chili Davis, though, is going to be the first man up. He's already got 1 home run in this game. Let's see if he can end it here. A 45. That's not a home run, but it is a long single. And he is going to start this inning off with a base knock. That's to left field. A little scorcher into left. And Bob Brenly to the plate. Brenly's got 3 hits on the day, 3 for 5. And let's see if he can move him along. 15, that's going to be another base knock as he grounds one through the left side. Chili Davis, station to station. And that's going to bring up Will Clark. Will the Thrill, a chance to walk this one off. A double wins it. A home run wins it. A triple wins it. So he's looking for a 22 here. Hits a 35 instead, and that's going to be a ground out. So that's going to lead to a fielder's choice here at second base. That'll be out number 1. This guy's going to move up regardless. And we're going to roll against Will's speed. A 1 to 4, he'll be safe. It's a 2, and he legs it out at first on a slow roller. I believe it was to the side. We'll call it to the second baseman, 4-6. So only one out on the play. We got runners at the corners and Chris Brown coming to the plate. Patterson's got a strikeout on 11-33 and then a potential walk on 36. A 23, that will be a ground out, tapped in front of the plate. No error on the play. No base runner advancement, as they're not going to be advancing. Catcher has the ball in front of the plate. And that's going to bring up Robby Thompson with one more opportunity. Can he walk it off here? He's number 2 in Rookie of the Year voting. And he has got no hits on the day. Let's see if he comes through. 271 average in 1986. A 25 is going to be a fly ball. That goes to right center field. And there is no error on the play as the right fielder, who is that? Mike Diaz, makes the catch on the run and strands 2 on the bases, and we would head normally to the top of the 13th. I am not going to complete this game. It seems to be going on forever, and we'll just call it here at a tie. It is 11-11. So 11-11 after 12 innings, and a really good one, as Fast and Furious in the late innings here. Runs started coming. So what is that? 8, 11, 12 runs total in the last 2 innings. So pretty exciting finish there, as Chili Davis with the RBI double in the bottom of the 9th tied it up. And both teams held scoreless since then for the 3 innings in overtime. This is using the 1986 season set for on-base baseball. This is going to come out soon. I'm working on the pocket edition right now, so everything should be coming pretty quickly. Again, let me know in the comments if you want to see the printed roster sheets or not, so I can do those printed roster sheets as well. But if there's not a lot of desire for that, or everybody just wants to shift over and do the cards, totally understand, and it's really okay. Just want to make sure that I'm not spending a bunch of time on stuff that nobody wants. So the set itself is all ready to go, and I think we're good on this one. 1986, so pretty classic World Series, and one of the best of all time, and at least top 3 in most people's minds. World Series all time, if not the number 1. And you get a lot of really great players while they're young. So a lot of those stars of the 90s are just coming into play. This is Greg Maddox rookie year. Maybe one of the best rookie classes of all time. Will Clark, Barry Bonds, Robby Thompson, Roger Clemens, Jose Canseco is a rookie in 1986. Greg Maddox is a rookie in 1986. Like this, it's one of the great rookie classes of all time, probably. And so you just have a lot of really, really good players coming in to the league, and these are the stars of the 90s who are starting to come in. I think that's it. If you haven't subscribed, click on subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't purchased On Base Baseball, I'll put a link down in the description. You can go to the link at the Clark and Addison Gaming website, and you can find out more about the game. You can also find other seasons that we put out. 1980 is the most recent, so there is one 1980 season. This will be the second one, and I don't know, maybe I'll do another one, 84, something like 82, 84, 88, I don't know, something like that. Those are all sort of seasons. You're starting to get into the place, or maybe 89 with these Giants, right? 89 was a big year for the Giants and the A's. Big World Series. And so maybe that will be one as well. Oh, Paul O'Neill, also a rookie. I'm just thinking about the 1990 Reds, the late 80s Reds. So Paul O'Neill, he only got into a handful of games in this, but I did see his name. He got in only as a pinch hitter, so he's come off the bench probably in September, but this was his first appearance into the game as well. So really, really solid rookie class. yeah, so go there and check it out. Lots of seasons from 1940 all the way till today. I'm continuing to produce seasons even right now. We only have about a week and a half left in the season, a week left in the season, I guess. I want to say it ends. What do they have? They have 10 games left, something like that, in the Major League season right now. This is September 21st. So, season winding down. And once the season ends, I will produce this season. 2024, I don't know if I'll do Precision Baseball first or second. It is a little more labor intensive than on-base baseball, so maybe on-base I'll do first and then Precision Baseball. But I want to try to get those baseball games out before the season is finished, like before the playoffs are finished, so you can replay or pre-play the playoffs if you want to. So I'll work hard to do that and just put everything else on the back burner until I can get that finished. But this season should be good to go really soon. Probably, I might be able to finish the Pocket Edition today. We'll see. I'm about halfway through the team cards, so the other cards are easy because they're the same cards that you use for the 1980. So I haven't had to make any changes for that. So once I get into a decade, and I've done a decade, it's not so easy or hard because I've done like a third of the cards already. So that's not a problem. And then it's just going through and inputting the rosters and finding the batting orders and stuff like that. And so it's a little bit of a manual process, but it's kind of cool to go through and see some of these names and the starting lineups and stuff like that. Guys that I remember collecting their baseball cards 86 to like 92. And this is sort of my childhood. At this point, 86, I was 12 years old? No, not 8 years old. So I was starting to get into paying attention. I've been playing baseball for years, but I was starting to get into watching baseball at this point. So these are sort of the players from my childhood, playing cards that I remember. Some of them I was having to trade for or get them, but because I wasn't collecting cards probably till 87, 88, something like that was when I started like buying my own cards and really getting into card collecting. So this is a slightly before that. 85 would have been really before. That would have been cards I did not open packs for in 85, but I remember they had the big block lettering, the big huge letters on the 85 Topps cards. But so these are guys I'm starting to get into my wheelhouse a little bit from here all the way to today. That started like my baseball journey begins basically with this set, or a little bit later. 88 probably is when I was really paying a lot of attention. I remember, I think, watching the Dodgers where Kirk Gibson hit the home run against the A's. I'm pretty sure I remember watching that moment. I don't know if I watched it live or not. The first live World Series I remember is 1989. I watched that series. I watched it. I rushed home from somewhere to watch the like we were out doing something, and I wanted to make sure that I got home to watch the series. And the earthquake happened at that moment, and it was like I just remember watching TV in that moment because I made a point to watch that World Series. I love Will Clark. I love these Giants. Kevin Mitchell was another one who was a rookie. He was like fourth, I want to say, in Rookie of the Year voting, although he was playing for the Mets at the time. He wound up playing for the Giants. And so these Giants had 3 guys from this rookie class. They wound up with them on that 1989 team. And just a really great team to watch. And I loved watching. I loved Will Clark and had the batting stance and all that kind of stuff. So I really love that part. So this is a little walk down memory lane for me. I remember guys like Mike Bilecki. I remember the Jeff Robinsons of the world. I remember watching Bob Melvin and Dan Gladden, especially when he went to the Twins, and Jose Uribe, had a long career with San Francisco, so watched him. So these are all, you know, my guys. So I'm really excited about this set. You can probably tell I don't get so excited about the 1960s or 70s. Those are just players I watched in black and white, you know, on reruns on TV or something like that. But these are players that I watched live. So I will let everybody know when the set is ready and available on the website. Again, hopefully I can be done with the Pocket Edition now, and I just want to release it all at the same time. That way you'll have the choice. If you want to buy the carded set with the roster sheets, you can do that as a PDF, immediately get it. If you also want to buy the Pocket Edition, you can. If you just want to buy the Pocket Edition, you'll be able to order that. It probably takes anywhere 2 to 4 weeks for you to get those cards. So if you want it immediately, this is the way to go. If you want it with the carded set and you want the nicely printed cards and all that kind of stuff, you're just going to have to wait a little bit because it's print on demand. It's not sent to me. It's sent to the company that creates the cards and sends them to you. So a little bit of a wait there, but the cards are really nice and worth the wait, I think, if you want to do that. All right. Be sure to go to the Facebook page and go to the Clark and Addison Gaming group on Facebook groups. If you join the group, then you can get in, and there are games in the files section you can just download and play for free, or demos. You'll get updates on when all this stuff is happening. There are games that I play that I don't show here, but I might talk about them or show, you know, box scores and things like that on the Facebook group. Yeah, I think that's it. Appreciate everybody's support in this. Hopefully you get excited about the 86 season as well. This will be another game on the market that provides 86, which is a really popular season. And hopefully you go out and purchase it. Tell others about On Base Baseball. It's a great game. It flows really well. And just let me know your thoughts on the game. Whenever you purchase any of my games, you'll get a review request, like an invite to review the game that you bought. That'll come to your email like a week or two after you buy the game. So if you would just leave a review for the games, be honest with it about what you like about the game or what you've tried or what you're excited about. And that really helps other people who are looking on the website to be able to make purchasing choices about the games that we're providing. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.